lately on your channel, I've been intrigued by kind of your clips with Pusha T. I know that he kind of ebbs and flows into the narrative, the big narrative of hip hop. And I think one of your videos, I hope I'm getting this correct, but basically you were saying, does he only pop up when there's drama?
I guess that was kind of like it was somewhat of an ironic way to start that video, because I personally don't think that, but I
Yeah,
know a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of people do.
yeah,
I
totally.
have people close to me that specifically only know Pusha T for the Drake beef, then being referenced by Kendrick in another Drake beef, and then now
Yeah,
the Travis Scott kind of
yeah.
like whatever's going on. So
Mhm.
I understand to like maybe surface level Pusha T fan that might be, or a listener that might be kind of the case. But as someone who's I've extensively followed Pusha T's solo career, because I wasn't old enough, or I guess in tune with music enough for the Clips era, because that was what 2000s to 2009. So I was like
Yeah.
really young when that ended. But I was just getting into music when Pusha T embarked on solo stuff.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
signing to Kanye, the mixtapes, the My Name Is My Name album, and so on and so forth. And that's where he captivated me as like as that kind of spooky character that's extremely
Yeah.
focused on lyricism, has very dark
Yeah.
production, but
Mhm.
he kind of dips in and out of the like a pop crossover here and there. Like he has a song
Mhm.
with Linkin Park somewhere in his catalog too.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
it's a very interesting trajectory to me, and I'm a big fan of um cadence, presence, and like voice on rap songs, in rap albums. And I think he has the perfect voice for rap. Like he cuts right through the mix. And
Yeah.
him and his brother Malice in Clips, like they have such a similar tone that just sits on top of the beat and like really pierces the eardrum in a way, in like a good way. That sounds bad, but
Mhm.
in a good way. Where I've been like kind of like huge onto him. So my purpose with that video that you referenced was to maybe bring attention to, hey, this guy has some really, really solid albums. He's one of my
Yeah.
favorite rappers. It's not just the beef guy, even though it seems
Mhm.
like it. And
Mhm.
that's something I kind of respect of him, because he doesn't have to do all that. He doesn't have to call out anyone in a specific way, because he's
Yeah.
so acclaimed as a hip hop artist by like
Mhm.
fans. But he still
Yeah.
has like almost like a calling, I guess, to shake things up a bit, which you kind of need
Mhm.
that, I guess.
I think he's one of those artists that flies under the radar a little bit, but then has such a monumental work like
Yeah,
Daytona, where people are
yeah,
like this is like could be in the conversation for maybe, top 20 hip hop albums.
I could
Definitely
see
of
it.
like the 2010s and on,
Mhm.
potentially of all time. Like a lot of people really, and it's a great project. I love that project. And like you said, the darker production, his real intentionality with lyricism, I
Mhm.
appreciate that about him. But it's like to me, he almost feels to some degree like an artist's artist, if that makes
Mm.
sense. Like
Yeah,
where people like really like him, but it's almost like some of your favorite, other than the people he's beefing with, obviously. Like, um, I don't think Drake would say this, but there's a lot of bigger artists that would be like, yeah, Pusha, like and give shout out and kind of push him into that limelight a little bit more.
ironically, Drake did say that when he was growing up, Clips was his favorite group. He wanted to be signed to the
That's
same
yeah,
label as them, which is like hilarious to look
that
back at
is
many years
yeah,
later.
hilarious. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I could see that, because like if you always look at Pusha T's like numbers, streams, listeners,
Mm.
it's good, but it's not like superstar level.
Yeah.
So it's almost like as is one of his songs, is if you know, you know kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think
Mm-hmm.
he's happy to like reside in that little
Yeah.
bubble. He's
Yeah.
not looking to be this crazy huge artist. I don't think. Um, I don't know. He kind of resides in that area of those kinds of rappers that isn't selling himself out personally, or I guess specifically musically, to sound more like pop, I
Mm.
guess. But he's still feeding his fans what they want.
Yeah. Totally.
Hmm.
And maybe like maybe hash out like this kind of new whatever is happening with Travis Scott and him,
Yeah,
because I think it's still like it's fairly fresh and
yeah,
probably will be going on for a little bit, but for people that might not even be aware that this is going on.
yeah. I mean, the storyline currently is that Pusha T and Malice, his brother Clips, as a group, they were working on their upcoming album that's coming up this weekend, I guess, with Pharrell and Paris. And they've kind of always had like a weird relationship. They were like kind of Travis and Pusha were connected through the Good Music family. But honestly, as Kanye is slowly more and more separated himself from any type of sanity throughout the 2010s, I feel like that Good Music kind of moniker and the group dissipated as well. And then the story is that Pusha T, Pharrell, and Malice were working on this album, and Travis bursts through the door, says, "Hey, I want to play you this album." And you got to think about it. Travis is a modern artist. He is in his 30s, I believe, but he's very catering to the youth, just because of just the visuals, the music, everything. Whereas Push is someone who's very, stoic. He's kind of achieved that kind of OG status, I guess. So he's not really looking to do these theatrics as much. And Travis plays them Utopia. They're like, whatever. And then then the album comes out, and suddenly there's a song on Travis's album that's dissing not only Pusha T, not only Pharrell, but he's kind of just, he didn't play him that song when he first came to visit them. So Pusha T feels kind of backstabbed by that. And then he said, "But you've come to me before on the So Be It song, where you've cried in front of me, you've died in front of me, kind of thing. You've kind of came to me to complain. I was your shoulder to cry on, and now you're kind of backstabbing and dissing my main guy." So I think that's their main issue. Again, Travis hasn't responded as of this date. I don't think he will through track. It might be a little bit of like a reference in one of the songs. But to me, that's like what I like Pusha T is that he's extremely solid and loyal to who he's standing with. And Pharrell is like a childhood friend of his. So they've been together making music for like 30 years at this point. And he doesn't see Travis's, theatrics as something to be proud of.